Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a shimeji. Now this is just the way that I make them. There's no steadfast way to make these guys. This is just how I happen to prefer to go about it. Now if you don't know what a shimeji is simply a little desktop buddy, I suppose you could call it, that just kind of runs around your computer screen and is rather pointless, but they're kind of entertaining. The one that I'm playing with on my screen here is one that I actually made of Andy Bierzak from Black Veil Brides. Um, and so I will be showing you how I go about making these guys. Um, what you need to do first is you have to have another Shimeji already downloaded in order to go about this, because you need to copy and paste that folder so that you can take the files from the folder, all of the configuration and stuff like that that makes the Shimeji work, and use that for the Shimeji you're making. So what you're really doing to make these guys is you're just going into the image folder that is within the folder, and you're going to draw over the images that you have in there already to make whatever character or person you are making. Now, you have to go to wherever you keep your Shimejis. I happen to keep them in my downloads simply because it's easier for me to move Shimejis into here from where they're already located instead of moving them to a different folder to move them into another folder and blah blah blah. So I keep them in here, and then from here, they are all organized because I'm incredibly OCD about these guys. So I have them organized into, categories like game characters, stuff like that. But where I'm going to right now is my music Shimejis and my Black Veil Bride Shimejis, because the one that I'm going to be making in this tutorial is actually Purdy from Black Veil Brides. Now, as you can see down here, Andy so kindly multiplied for us. So I have a feeling by the end of this tutorial, my screen will be littered with Andy Bierzak. Anyway, so what you have to do is you have to duplicate a folder of a Shimeji that you already have and that you know which works, so that you can copy and so you can draw over the image that you have within that folder. Now, in order to do this, I'm just going to show you with the CC one I have here because I already have my Ashley folder copied. So what you have to do is you have to right-click on the folder and hit copy. So now your computer has the folder within the copy. And then just right-click anywhere on the blank space here and hit paste. And what that should do is it will make a copy of the folder that you have, and then you can go in and rename it whatever the characters you're making. But since I already have my Ashley folder, I'm simply going to delete it. So I don't need that anymore. Let it recycle. And now inside this folder you should see when you duplicate it, it will have all the files you need. The text file, the application itself, all these different folders, all the different documents needed to make the Shimeji work, and then you have your image folder. As you can see, I've already gone in and I've changed the icon. The Shimeji that I'm using as a base for mine is a France Shimeji that I got off DeviantArt. I'll post a link, but I think the deviation has actually been taken off because it never shows up when I click the link. But I still have the Shimeji, and this one has worked fairly well in the past for making these little guys. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to apologize now if I cough at all. I'm a bit sick, but I need to get this out of the way, so I'm doing it now. So before you even get started with making your Shimeji, what you have to do is you have to go online and you have to find reference pictures so that you can look at it and see what you need to make as far as your character. Now, ignoring Andy on the bottom, who is now deciding to reproduce like crazy, I have a picture of Ashley, so that I could see his outlaw tattoo, and so I could try and recreate it. If I can't, then I'll draw him with a shirt on, but I'd prefer without, because how often do we really see Ashley with a shirt on? Every time I go to concerts, he comes out shirtless, so I figured that would be the best way to go about making him. And then I have an image of his war paint, and another one with his war paint and a bit of his hair, so I can try and recreate that, and then just another image to get clothes ideas and stuff like that. So once you have as many reference images as you need, get as many as you want. I may even end up looking up more if I need to along the way. Once you have as many of them as you need, you can go ahead and open up whatever program you're going to use to make the Shimejis. Now, I prefer to use GIMP, which is a free photo manipulation program that's sort of like Photoshop, but a lot easier to use. It's for beginners and such. It's As I said, it's free. Um, I prefer it greatly. I love it. I use it for everything that I need to. You can probably do these on paint, but I would not recommend it because you wouldn't have a lot of the tools and capabilities that you would have if you use some sort of photo manipulation program. But if you have GIMP or Photoshop or any other program like them, feel free to use that. I just happen to use GIMP because it's what I have. Now, once this opens up, we are going to have to go in and open up the file that we want to edit. So we will wait for my program to slowly open up because it's being mean to me right now. And there we go. It is now open. Once it's loaded, if you go to File, Open, and you're going to go and find the Shimeji that you need to make. So I'm going into my Downloads folder, into the Shimeji folder, my music, BVB Shimejis, to the Ashley, and once you open up the Shimeji that you're trying to make, you have to go into the image folder. Now from here, I apologize, from here, you have to open up the image that you want to work on. I go through them in order for the most part, unless I get to some of the different things that they do. Like with this one, he starts undressing and then eventually is naked in front of you with a wine glass. These different little things that they do, I usually leave them till the end. I go through and do all the main ones like falling or sitting down or being shaken and stuff like that, since it's easier to just do them instead of having to think of something creative to do. But for the most part, I go through them rather, in order. So open up the image that you want to work on, which I will be opening up the first one. Sorry, Andy, I interrupted you. And now you can work on them from this zoom. I, however, prefer to work on them a little closer up because it's really hard to do detail from this size. I prefer to go to about 500 because that seems to be big enough that I can do what I need, but small enough that it's not like one pixel takes up my entire screen, or I have to keep moving the screen around a lot or something like that. So 500 is about what I use. Now, to get started on these guys, you have to make what is called a line art. Basically, the outline of the Shimeji, all the black here, stuff like that on France is the line art, probably from the other person, what they used. So what you have to do is you have to go through and basically draw the outline of your character. Now, since this is going to take me quite a while to do, I'm going to skip through this, and I will come back to you once I have it all set up. Okay, so as you can see here, not only have I been invaded by Andy, who I think is getting a bit jealous of Ashley, but I've got the line art all finished here. So now what you want to do after you have your line art finished is you want to start coloring. So what I'm going to do, I actually have my Andy Shimeji opened up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, copy and paste him into Ashley's Shimeji, like I've done. Oh, I just got rid of my layers. Like I already have done here. I'm going to bring up him and then just take the colors that I need from Andy to use for Ashley. Now I'll probably edit some things like skin tone and all of that. Just a couple minor things. I'll obviously have to change the color of his eyes because Ashley's eyes are brown while Andy's are blue. But I'm going to take basically the main colors that I need from Andy, use them for Ashley. This way I don't have to try and mess around with them and do whatever. Now what you can also do, since you probably won't have something that you can do that with, you can just copy and paste a normal image from online into your Shimeji, and then now that we have this obnoxiously big portion of Ashley's face, you can just copy it. You can use your color tool and just take colors from that. Or if you're a little more adventurous and you think you can do it, you can open up your color map, I don't really know what to call this, and you can mess with the colors to try and get the shade, color, whatever that you're looking for. But regardless of that, whatever you're going to do to try and get your color, you have to color it now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will see you when I am done. You told the greatest stories of love and bleeding crowns, but okay, so now as you can see, I have Ashley fully colored. Now what I have to go in and do, and what you'll have to go in and do, is you have to start shading. Unless you want to leave your character looking flat, you can skip the step, but I prefer shading, as you can see with like Andy's hair and stuff like that. So you just have to go in and kind of shading is going to be up to you. You have to determine what looks best, what will work well, work with it a bit, and come up with something that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and start shading now, and I will see you once again when I'm done with this. We are young and we are strong. Through strength itself we beat. Okay, so as you can see here, I have finished shading Ashley to how I want him. You can also see that my desktop is now littered with Andy. And then I went in and changed him a bit. As I was going along, I kept coming out, to make sure everything looks good at the, regular size. I didn't like the way that his bare chest and abs and whatever were coming out. So I decided to put a shirt on him because I think it looks better, and so he will remain with a shirt for most of the Shimeji. I have a plan to try and bring the outlaw tattoo back, but we'll see. I may not, I may do it, I don't know. So as you can see, I have him finished now. There's really nothing else I need to do on this image. He is done. This will be my baseline image for the rest of the Shimeji. What I usually do when I go about making these guys is I go through and I take previous images and build off of them. So for his next walking image, I will take this image and just move his legs and arms a bit and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to go about making the Shimejis doing that than, say, recreating the entire thing each time. And plus then you get, they look normal, they look, the same, and there's no abnormal bumps or anything, and they just look a lot better when you do it that way. So now that he's done, we have to save him. Now I'm going to save him in the, what you want to do when you save him is you want to go to, if you haven't saved them yet, I did just in case my laptop messed up. I saved it as a different file, but what you want to do is if you haven't saved it yet, you go to save. If you have saved it in a different file, hit save as, and then it will bring up Andy. Go away. Hold on, let me get rid of all of these guys. Come on, Andy. One of you, go away. Okay, that's a lot better. What you want to do is you want to go in and save the Shimeji file as a PNG image. This is just a different type of image file. It is all one layer. It will get rid of all of these and merge them all together. All of these and merge them all together for you. And so you just want to go in and you want to save it as that. Leave it the same title and everything. Just hit save. It will bring up this file name Shimeji I blah 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 already exists. Just hit replace. And then it will bring up this thing telling you can't handle layers, so you just leave it as merge visible layers and hit export. And then hit save. All of this you can just leave. I never mess with it. It's perfectly fine. Just hit save. And now it has saved your image. So after you save it, you want to run the Shimeji to make sure, hold on, I just have to save all of these, to make sure that it works fine. Because you don't want, like I did with Andy, one second. As you can see with Andy, he has all these awkward white pixels around him. I've tried fixing that numerous times and I just can't seem to get rid of them. So he's stuck like that now. But you want to run your Shimeji so that You can make sure there's no like awkward pixeling, there's no weirdness going on, there's no blank spaces, stuff like that. So I'm going to go to my Ashley Shimeji and open him up. And I'm going to click the application file to run him, and we will just make sure that his first image is fine, there's no issues. As soon as he comes up. Ashley. Okay, so here it comes, and there's Ashley. Now I can't really do much with him right now because he is, if I move him, see it's kind of awkward because as he walks he's going to end up moving and turning into France as he's going along. But now I can see if you look closely here there's a couple miscellaneous mess up pixels, so I'm going to have to go in and fix that. But I will do that after this is over. So basically, now that you have your Shimeji finished, and I'm going to close out of him because that's going to annoy me. Now that you have your Shimeji finished, you can go ahead and work on the next set of images that you have. Just keep going, keep recreating all of the images that you still have to do. It's quite time consuming, but all in all, it is incredibly worth it. So just keep going, make all of these other images, and once you are done, you will have a Shimeji completed like I have with my little Andy here. So that is the end of my tutorial. Hopefully this helped you somehow, gave you an idea of how to get started and what to do with your Shimeji. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and ask. I am not mean, I promise. I will try and help you as best as I can. Any concerns, just anything that you need, go ahead and ask. And yeah, hopefully this helped you somehow.